Woo! We are live. We're back another Wednesday night. I'm so excited. This BRAP episode has me pumped. We have great topics tonight. We have the return of B Money. We're going to have Slow-Mo Backslap joining us. Slow-Mo is going to be joining us here in a little bit. Slow-Mo, are you there? Oh, Slow-Mo's there. Slow-Mo, I'm going to get to you, sir, because you stirred the pot a little bit this morning, sir.
Did I?
I mean, kind of. No,
I mean, I thought I was just, making normal conversation, and
I
escalated. Somebody else escalated it, right, Slow-Mo?
Hey, you know how it is, man. It's always someone that's got to take it too far,
Right.
I understand where you were coming from, but man, I mean, dudes were coming out of the woodwork, and I was like, "What?" I said, "Everybody, just calm down." Like it's not. He's not saying anything bad, people.
Django, man. You bust out the Django just now.
You know what's funny though? You know what's really funny? If I would have sent that tweet like a week ago, it would have had like 5 likes. Nobody would have cared. It would have been a nothing burger. I sent that tweet out last freaking night. All right, look, I was bored last night, really bored. And I said, I'm looking at my phone. And I said, look, if I hit send, I need to be prepared to argue with people for the next 24 hours. But hey, I had to work late last night. I had to do a remote installation for work at 12:30 at night. So I said, you know what? I'll be up to like 3 in the morning anyway. Why don't I just go ahead and do this? But it, just so happened it didn't really blow up until this morning. I wake up and I'm like, 58 notifications. What the hell? And it just kept going. So hey, you know what? It was fun. I was amused. It was amusing for the majority of the day. Then it got boring. And I was just like, all right, people stop replying to me already. I'm not going to reply back to you.
Yeah, there were some replies that I just I chose to ignore. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, like when someone is so far out of their depth in understanding what you're talking about, and then like 90% of what they wrote is just an insult. It's just like, why even bother? I even and usually I'm not big enough. On this in the crumb side community, these Twitter streets to be getting like sock accounts coming after me, but I got sock accounts coming after me. I kind of felt a little something about that. I'm like, who are you? And you look at their profile.
What did you post? Did you admit that PC gaming is trash and Mark came after you? Like, what happened?
No, look, let me tell you what I posted. I'll just read it. Where is my? Hold on.
He had sock accounts coming at him.
Yeah, freaking sock accounts. I was like, look, I don't even know who sock account this is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and block you. So there you go. Like I haven't blocked anyone in the longest time, but yeah. Well, so like I essentially said, look, I see the Xbox community is very excited for confirmed specs, but I just kind of want you guys to just understand a couple things that T-flops alone do not guarantee performance. There's a whole lot more that goes into it. And no, this has nothing to do with GCN versus RDNA 2, because I hear that being the default response whenever someone says that. And I said to like in an APU, it will usually be outperformed by a modern discrete GPU. And then I went on to say, look, I think everyone needs to just pump their brakes a little bit and stop making definitive statements on performance until more details are known. We don't know like clock speeds. We don't know memory bandwidth of the Xbox Series X. There's a whole lot more information that we need to learn. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing since sliced bread and Jesus licked it, therefore it's godly.
Well, you said it on Twitter, so it makes sense that people would think you were talking trash about it.
Exactly. There are people like, oh, why are you coming at us like this? Why are you
I'm not coming at you.
I'm like, what are you talking? This is my Twitter post. You came to me. And people are like, you're being a big party pooper, Slow-Mo. And I'm like,
go back to your pony palace, Slow-Mo.
Go back to your hole.
Yeah, like
fun police.
Someone tweeted the fun police. I was like, what?
You're trampling on our fun.
Yeah, and look, and the last thing I said was, and especially until independent parties can test and benchmark the final product. Because look, all these companies, I'm not getting on AMD. They all do it. AMD, NVIDIA, Intel, they get up there and they say, look, our chip is the greatest thing ever. It'll do your taxes. It'll find out if your wife's cheating on you. It's awesome. And then like, it comes out and you like, oh damn, I mean, it is better, but it's not what you said it was.
Let me take just like 30 seconds to explain that, because you're right, Slow-Mo, but they're not really lying. So what they do is you have like every card has like what you would call general performance, and then they have like things that the card will specialize in, and they will have multiple specializations. So as an example, you might have a card that's really good at blending 4,000 colors with alpha transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take advantage of that feature, you can get 18,000 teraflops. But what happens is once you start to develop your game, if your game cannot take advantage of that particular feature, then you're down to the general purpose processing that the card can do. And so the actual output that they told you, the 18,000 teraflops, that's true, but it's true under very specific conditions. And
right.
Yeah,
and I'm never saying they're lying. I took it as more of a keen. So you know how like if you ever watch a benchmark video and they'll take like a dozen games and they'll take 2 GPUs and then they'll make sure they use the same like top of the line CPU, and these are the discrete ones, and then they'll just like do them side by side. Hey, look, this game is up like 15 frames per second over this other GPU, and then they'll like give you the average out to see like which GPU stacked up against the other. And then, but I kind of look at it like when they go on stage and say, well, our GPU is 26% better than this other GPU, but it's like they only tested it in one game. And it's the one game that they were like, like when you play the game, it's got like the logo of their company is part of the logos that pop up before you get to the main menu.
Well, it's a little bit different than that. I understand what you're saying, but it's a little bit different than a benchmark thing, because the benchmark thing, they take games that are already out and try them against a new card.
Mm-hmm.
What they're talking about now for like the development cycle is you're building a game with that card in mind.
Right.
Advantage of it. And the thing is, you won't always be able to, though. So no matter what they advertise with the card, unless you're taking advantage of every special feature of that card, you're not going to get that performance.
That's right.
Yeah, real quick, guys. I do want to get back to this conversation because there's some interesting things going on in the live chat regarding some of the GPU comparisons that are going with the that are being compared with the Xbox Series X. We'll get to that here in a sec, but I want to get to introductions real quick because we have a major player from Hollywood, California, a first-time guest, somebody that I've actually had the pleasure of podcasting with, more specifically on the Crossfire podcast that's live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And by the way, if you didn't get a chance to check out Moochie's podcast last Friday, please check that out. He had Dreamcast guy on. It was a fantastic show. Very insightful, great conversation. Definitely check that out. Dreamcast guy was an awesome guest, and we actually are working on getting him on BRAP as well. And we've been talking to him kind of behind the scenes. So, but I do want to introduce Dark Optimus or Dark Goldblum. Optimus, dude, welcome to BRAP, man. Great to have you on, bro.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here. I gotta tell Mooch every time. I gotta tell him every single damn time. I'm not that big, dude, in Hollywood. Every time, and he just refuses to believe it. He refuses it. But no, man, it's good to be here, dude. I'm ready to get into these topics.
Dude, welcome to BRAP, man. Oh, I hear some background noise here. Is that you?
I know. I was like,
that's got to be Optimus code, I think.
Of course.
I gotta tell. Yep, it's always Optimus. Optimus, I'm not trying to pick on you, man, but all right, I think it's gone. All right. and without further ado, we have returning guest Optimus Code. Optimus, what's going on, man?
Now he's muted.
All right, so we'll get back to Optimus, but Guys, we have a great show tonight. We have
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh man, that was messed up, man. I actually went and bought a new MacBook Pro specifically so it wouldn't be me this time. And god damn it, I opened up 2 Chrome browsers and I couldn't find the little mute button for each of the windows.
Are you not used to the iOS layout and everything? Is it just like difficult to find stuff?
Well, no, I got this weird setup, and I got Windows placed exactly where I want them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones on a different desktop was playing, and I couldn't find it.
But Apple's supposed to be user friendly.
Let's move on with the introduction.
I knew that was gonna happen. All right, but Optimus, man, Optimus. By the way, guys, we have Optimus Code. By the way, he has been so insightful the last couple times we've had him on. So Optimus, thanks for coming back on again, man. We really appreciate your insight into all things gaming. And before we start the show, I do want to take like a few seconds to recognize something. What happened? Oh, I heard something in the background there. Okay, maybe I'm hearing things. And Eric, I think this is something you tweeted earlier, if I'm not mistaken. The gentleman who created the infamous cheat on Contra for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the up, down, down. What is it? Up, down, left, right, left, right.
Left, right. A, B, start.
BA select start. Yeah, he passed away. So.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Eric tweet. I'm trying to find your tweet, Eric. I can't find it right now.
Rest in peace to a legend, man.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and my thought. excuse me. My thought on that was, man, that was like social media level stuff before there was social media, because you didn't know anybody that didn't know that code.
That's true.
That's the first code I learned. Shoot.
Yeah, it was like completely viral. It's like
without the internet, people.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, that was word of mouth. I mean, like I heard it from friends.
Yeah.
And was it ever published like in any of the game publications?
I wonder, where was it published? Was it in
was it Nintendo Power, maybe? GamePass?
I bet you it was in a Nintendo Power at some point. That's the Contra code that gave you infinite lives, right?
30 lives.
99.
It was
99?
99. I thought it was
30.
infinite.
It was only 30 lives. 30 lives in Contra.
Was it 30?
I thought it was 30.
Well, I didn't need all of them to beat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so are you basically saying that you needed the Contra code to beat the game?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, Contra was
Not
hard,
a real
man.
gamer.
Oh, stop it, yo! Contra was hard. Look, the kids today, if they played Contra, they would be breaking controllers.
They would
TVs,
be
they'd
for
losing
sure.
their mind.
For sure.
Gamers today, they play, Dark Souls. We have, the Bloodborne style games.
Dude, I don't know,
Sekiro.
man. Freaking Contra was.
I'll play Dark Souls over Contra. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
right
Contra was just that game, man. That just it frustrated a lot of people. Even Battletoads back in the day was like that game that just frustrated so many people.
Yeah.
Now it's just frustrating to look at, the new one.
Oh,
Nickelodeon turd.
I need to be. I'm told I need to be nicer. I need to be nice to the Xbox. Maybe find something nice to say.
Slow-mo, you were gonna have
you been
soccer
negative
accounts.
to Xbox slow-mo?
Yeah,
Say what?
He the fun police came after him today.
Oh Lord, I haven't been on
Put
Twitter.
the
in
22
a
away,
couple
man.
days,
No more
so.
shots, man.
He said, "Put the 22 away."
I think. Damn, I can't think of anything right now. let me. There's something nice I can say. You know what? I like Bleeding Edge. There we go.
All right, fair enough. All right, well let's get to the first topic tonight, guys. Actually, before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Badbit and Ryan from the Trophy Room podcast. I actually had the pleasure of recording a show with them last night. We had Mr. Babbitt on last week on BRAP, so definitely check that podcast out. The Trophy Room podcast. It was awesome. Had a blast with those guys. So big shout out to them. They're actually at PAX East right now, and I think they actually just met up with Cognito. He had actually tweeted that out. So just want to say thank you to those gentlemen again. But Look, guys, we finally got news, confirmed specs of the Xbox Series X. Now, I think this is the 12 teraflops thing was like the worst kept secret in the industry. I think pretty much everyone on this panel knew about that.
Not according to some.
Yeah. Some people were disputing that claim, but I'd actually heard from some sources that it was indeed 12 teraflops and whatever the case. But so that's official now. So we have 12 teraflops, and slow-mo, as you know, that means that this thing's gonna outperform a 2080 Ti.
Right.
It's gonna make
not the Ti.
No, that's what people have been saying. That from what I heard,
somebody said 2080 Ti. I only heard 2080s, but
dude,
Ti.
No, they've been screaming 2080 Ti from the mountaintops, man. So I don't know.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
the
it's been
official
both.
report is 2080 Super, not the Ti.
Yes. So 12 teraflops. So we know about that. It's going to melt our PC, slow-mo. And I just say this joke. I say this jokingly, by the way, because I know somebody's going to be like I could think of one particular person after the show wraps up in the comments section, be like, "You guys are just damage controlling because you love your PCs and blah, all that nonsense." It's not what's going on here. We're just fucking joking, people.
That guy's not even a real person. I refuse to believe he's a real person. I think he's a Russian bot. he posts way too many replies, and everyone's only spam bots do that. He's just a Russian spam bot.
He's targeting you. He's like, "I'm going to target this slow-mo backslap guy. I'm going to target him."
That's his voice?
That's
a Russian voice, I think. I don't know. But
I don't know what accent that was.
Definitely not going to say something since you just said that you only like Bleeding Edge. You didn't say you loved Bleeding Edge.
Oh, damn. You're right. That's a big difference.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah. I want to go to Optimus Co. because you were talking about this a couple of minutes ago about raw compute performance. I think that's what you're talking about regarding teraflops. And I don't know how much you know about, I know it, I know Red Tech Gaming was saying, hey, it's really not a one-to-one comparison when you're looking at PC GPUs and console GPUs, et cetera, et cetera. But I did want to get kind of your insight, Optimus. I don't know how familiar you are with, the whole teraflop thing, and if you have any idea of what this thing, because the first thing everyone's doing is, well, how does this compare to, the GPUs that are out on PCs now? Can you give us any insight into that and maybe where you think this thing performs comparable to, what, some of the more recent RTX cards like from NVIDIA?
So no, I can't, but I can do the exact same thing that they did in the PC Gamer article, which is, everything, the way they did it in that article was correct. It was very insightful, and they were very clear that this card matches some of the higher end NVIDIA cards on paper. And they were very clear that this is on paper.
Yeah, I had to say that to people multiple times today. I'm sorry. Continue, sir. Continue.
Okay. And and you're right, Slow-Mo. You have to point that out because people will read those first few words that they want to see, and they won't even actually read the article. They'll just skip and say PC Gamer said it's as powerful as a 2080 Ti. Yep. And so first, they never said that, and second, they are clarifying that it's on paper. And it's going to work very much like I said earlier. It's just if your game can take advantage of all of the special tricks that the card can do, you will get that peak performance and you will get those teraflops. If not, then you're going to drop down into the general performance, and that's going to happen with every single card. As far as will it actually perform that way, Enrique, we don't know. We have to have the games that were built with that card in mind, and we have to see them. All we can say on this point is, given the architectures and all of those things, this is where it roughly equates to, all things considered. So they're already factoring in the different architectures. They're already factoring in different display modes and rendering techniques. All of that stuff has been factored in when they came up with the final number. Now, that being said, do I think that it will outperform a 2080 Super? Even though I hate trash PC gaming, I'm going to say no. I would be very skeptical that that's true. because I mean, it just takes more than your graphic card, right? It's going to take RAM, like what your L2 cache like. There's just like a ton of things that go into that final performance, of which the video card is one. Most people, their CPU is going to be more powerful than the CPU that's in the Xbox. And so what you're really competing against is a CPU GPU combo. It's never just one of those. So for the people that will buy the high-end NVIDIA cards, more than likely they're also not skimping on the processor. So their total package, in my mind anyway, again, we'll have to wait to be sure, but I'd be very, very skeptical that it even comes close to a 2080 Super.
Oh no, Code, don't say that.
We got to keep it real, bro. I still think PC is trash, but as far as this goes, as far as the graphics
I'm just saying, you know, like you about to start looking like Jon Snow when in the Battle of the Bastards. 'Cause that was me all day when I said that, and then people, you know, lost it. So I'm just saying, you know, just prepare your sword.
I will say that GIF was perfect though, Slow-mo.
Slow-mo out here putting too much energy in people.
Am I?
Nah, man,
Yeah,
he putting
you
just
are.
enough to
man,
keep it entertaining, man.
It doesn't matter what you say on Twitter. Somebody's gonna have something to say.
Exactly.
Facts.
So it's like you can't fight the war against everybody. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all funny. I'm just gonna let this be.
No,
y'all gonna be upset when y'all system ain't as good.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
here's another thing.
Overhyping it in y'all own head.
Let me I don't know if I should like open this can of worms, but let me be very specific here.
Okay, hey Cole, can I ask you a question before you go there? Can I ask you a question?
Sure can. Happy to
when it comes to comparing, because we're always hearing you shouldn't compare different core architectures when it comes to teraflops and comparing them directly. So is it only an apples to apples comparison when it's when it's just the same core architecture? Like if it's just RDNA2, then you should compare teraflops between two different chips.
I mean, it depends. So again, with our industry, not our industry, but like a lot of the community, they like to oversimplify things, and then they run with that oversimplified narrative. So the simplest answer to that is yes, it should only be when it's one for one direct apples to apples. But the actual real nuanced answer of that is if you know all of the factors, then you can make adjustments in your calculations to determine how this thing compares to this other thing, because you know the way in that they're different, and you can take that into account when you arrive at your final numbers. But it's easy to do, and again, there are too many moving pieces that contribute to that final number. Gotcha. So it's difficult to do. So it's safest to compare apples to apples. And the reason they say that, y'all, is because, like, say I have a chip and I develop it, and say my chip can do 3 billion instructions a second. And let's just say for floating point math, let's say to do a division, it takes my chip 3,000 operations to perform one floating point division operation. Enrique could make a chip and say his chip is only 2 billion operations per second. But for that same floating point division, he can probably do that same thing in just 3 cycles. And so his chip is going to be way faster than mine, even though he has less instructions per second. He doesn't need as many cycles per instruction as I do. So his chip will outperform mine, even though the number is smaller.
Right.
So because of those differences, you can't just look at the gigahertz or the teraflops. It is always going to be based on the architecture of the chip and how many cycles does the chip consume per operation. And that's really what you're going to have to count. And that's what they will factor it down to when they make those comparisons.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
That was very insightful, Optimus. Hopefully I hope there were some takeaways for folks in the chat because I don't think we typically, at least in my experience, Optus, we don't get this kind of insight, on Twitter.
Well, I mean, because it's going to be boring to a lot of people, right? Like you're going to want that first. This is as powerful as a 2080 Super, and that's all they want to hear, and then they off to the races. So not very many people are interested in that level of detail. But I want to say something. Like I really want to clarify, and I'm very serious about this. Given what we know about like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, etc., I will say that even if a 2080 Ti is fast, or even the 2080 Super, or just regular 2080, even though it can probably outperform what's going to happen on the Xbox or the PlayStation is a better example. So let's just say that even if the 2080 can outperform the PS5 chip, I think that the Sony developers will create gaming experiences with their 9 teraflops that will rival anything you see on the 2080 on a PC, because you need seasoned developers that are optimizing for the chip that they have.
Dude, that's 1,000% facts. I don't think anybody is going to disagree with that, especially after what we saw this gen, where you can have a base PlayStation 4 with what is that? What, like 1 teraflop, a half flop,
1.9 teraflops.
Like okay, and that has games that look better than games that are on the Xbox One X by first party developers. And B Eric and Enrique, you guys remember like when I first played Uncharted 4, and I was just like, nah, man, I can't believe like, I was just like, hold up, I don't even have a PS4 Pro, and I'm like, really? Because like this is not what I was expecting. I don't even want to turn on my Xbox right now. I'm kind of ashamed. And I was a little upset a little bit, but then I was like, hey, it is what it is. Naughty Dog, they there's a reason why they are considered S tier when it comes to video game developers. They put their foot all the way in it. And when you have amazing talented, experienced developers, that's what you're going to get. Whether they're making games on a toaster, they're going to make that game look the best it can possibly get out of that toaster.
Now what we would want, the ultimate for us as gamers, would be you give those Sony developers a 2080 Ti and tell them you build something for this, and remove all of the barriers from them. Like we'll think we was in the future somewhere, man.
I mean, that's a great point, Optimus and Slow-Mo. Like that's the one, and I will concede this point to you, Optimus, regarding our PC versus console discussion. That console with that closed, being a closed platform, that these developers are able to optimize these games in ways that they can on PC right now. So I mean, look, I'll be the first to admit there's obviously pros and cons to both. But I mean, what Slow-Mo and you were saying is spot on, and that's why I think content is so important, especially when I hear people say, "Oh, exclusives don't matter." That's bullshit, because the exclusives are the games that are going to really highlight your system, your hardware, where when you're out there selling that brand, that marketing that console, you're going to throw up that God of War 2, whatever is on PlayStation 5, that Sony Santa Monica is working on, and that they're optimizing the hell out of that game. It's going to look awesome, and you're going to put that up on the big screen, and people are going to look at that and be like, holy shit, look at that game. So
that's exactly what's going to happen. Although there's one caveat to what you just said, Enrique.
Sure.
Because you would assume that the first party is what's going to push the envelope for their platform. But I guarantee you, for my 1X, the titles that looked the best was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
I mean, Forza Horizon 4 was nice, I'm not going to lie. But Microsoft didn't do very much to make sure that those games had a wow factor. The third parties did more with the 1X than Microsoft did.
That's a great point, and I wonder why that is. I mean, they did a pretty good job with Gears 5.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like release after release after release.
Yeah, and I will say that Gears 5 did play best on PC, so I'll leave that at that. But
Trash.
Yo, I tweeted out the link. I was about to make it, we in the BRAP crew with Dark Optimus and Optimus Code playing our video flops, but I was like, you know what? Let me not.
Don't do that. Don't see. Don't bring those sock accounts. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? Haven't I had enough fun today? Let me just put we speaking facts and not speculation up in here. So that's all I put and tweeted out. So we'll see what happens. But hey, look, shout out to 84 people watching right now. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all.
Please hit that like button as well, people. We definitely appreciate the support. Some other things they announced with the Xbox outside the 12 teraflops, which was the worst kept secret in the video game industry. They announced variable rate shading, VRS, which had been out there as well. Hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, which Slow-Mo and I have already experienced on our PCs. I know Optimus has not yet.
Don't brag about that. Oh my god, the mentions are gonna explode. I'm sorry. Continue.
Look, man.
He's not the only one.
Y'all is. I keep saying, let's have this debate. We can do that whenever y'all ready.
Forte's ducking. That's the problem. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Huh?
I have.
Don't put me. Don't put that evil on me.
Are we going to do a PC versus console debate?
We are. We're trying to get everyone's schedules aligned, and it's just not. We're figuring it out. Dark, what were you going to say, man?
I was just going to say that I haven't experienced it either because I would rather play on a console. That's just my purpose.
Nothing wrong with playing on a console.
Well, hold on. Say it with your chest, Optimus. Don't be scared of these clowns.
I'm not at all. I'm just saying that.
Nothing wrong with playing on a console.
I've explained to Enrique and freaking Slow-Mo before why I don't play on PC, and they know exactly why. So
look, man, it's all good. You're going to experience ray tracing before the year is out.
You know what?
I'm saying on console, you're going to get it with your Xbox Series X, right?
And Forte will get that experience too. Finally,
what experience?
Yeah, because Forte don't got ray tracing.
I don't
with his $2,000 PC.
Listen. Both of you guys' GPU, literally the best feature on your thing, tanks your frame rate by 20%. I'm good. Wait until the 3000 series comes out. Wait till the 3000 series comes out. Then I'll adopt into the whole ray tracing on PC.
Oh,
but
so
I'm not about.
You're gonna buy Ampere?
I'm not about losing frames for just to lose frames, sir.
You're gonna buy
Get him, Forte.
No, what you talking about? I got a warranty to micro. See, I have the greatest PC place in the world that like literally is 15 minutes from me. It's called Micro Center.
Micro Center is great.
You buy warranties on all your gear, and my warranty is up on all the parts in my PC on July 24th of this year. I will take my stuff in there and exchange it out and get full refund and upgrade all my stuff. Just letting you guys know.
Wait.
I will have new stuff in my PC coming this July.
Get a full refund.
Slapping them.
Full refund.
Wait, hold on. A full refund for the price that you bought it at, and not the price that's at right now.
Yes, no, the price I bought it at, sir.
What kind of scam is that?
No, it's a warranty exchange, bro. All I'll do is go in there and say my PC isn't working
hold
right.
On, Forte.
So they have to test it.
Forte, don't answer all this man question. You don't hear no explanation.
I need to.
I just want Listen, I just want these.
Exactly. I should have bought my stuff at Micro Center, man.
Listen, I just want these fraudulent PC gamers that just jumped on the bandwagon in the last 24 hours to actually know that there are traits. There is things that you don't know.
Tell him his levels to this.
Yeah, he's talking to Enrique. He ain't talking to
I had my PC before you, Slow-Mo. You know what? We're not...
So, no, but for real, though, literally, if you go to Micro Center, if you have a Micro Center near you, it's the best place to shop because you can literally go in there, buy warranties on all of your stuff, and when your warranty is up, all you got to do is walk into the store and say, this isn't working. And
I'm sorry, I live on the West Coast,
they give you a gift card, and they'll give you a gift card for the price that you paid, and you can use that to go towards new stuff.
All right, well, Forte, hold on a second. So you gonna walk in with like a GPU,
Yes,
RAM.
I
his
still
whole
have
computer
the box for
apart.
all of it.
Your SSD. You're basically you
No,
gonna take
no,
your
not
entire
my
computer
SSD, not my
apart and be like,
Listen, I'm not
none of this
frugal.
stuff works.
Listen. I'm not frugal. What I'm gonna do is right now, RAM. I'm looking at the website right now. I'm going Saturday when I get off work. RAM, I paid $189 for my RAM. 2 sticks. I got 32 gigs of Vengeance Pro RAM in my RGB RAM. $198 for every 16 gigs. I paid $400 for my RAM. You know how much that RAM is right now at Micro Center? It is literally on sale for $106. I can get 64 gigs, double the RAM I got right now of the same kind of RAM for the same amount of money I paid. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my RAM out my PC.
4 gigs of RAM. There's no reason to do that.
Just because I can.
What you mean? There's no reason to do that?
What are you
RAM is the
talking
most
about? There's no
valuable thing
reason.
in the computer.
You don't need 64 to play games right now.
I don't. No. Listen. Why not have 64? Because I can have it for the same price that I paid for 32.
Plus, he's future proofed.
And I'm future proofed. Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, up to a point. Look, wait. Up to a point.
Just slapped you in the face, didn't I, slow-mo?
And guess what, slow-mo? and slow-mo. And guess what? And let's and slow-mo.
Get him, Dark.
Educate you a little more. Educate you a little bit more on this. Let's just decide. I decide not to upgrade my RAM to 64 gigs. Like I said, my RAM right now is $106 for the same thing that I have. So I can literally exchange this, get $170 back, and use that to go towards my GPU when I trade in my GPU at the end in July.
What's your current GPU?
More way towards that. I got a 2080. I got a 1080 Ti hybrid edition.
Well, I mean, look, you're gonna have to buy more RAM if you just got the refund for your RAM. I mean, you still need more RAM.
No,
bro.
my RAM is. Listen, I paid $400 for my RAM. For the amount of RAM I have now, I can spend $189 and get that same 132 back.
All right,
and still have 180.
I'm still on how you walking back into Micro Center with a grocery bag full of parts.
Dude, Let me see what I did last time.
Wait, time out.
Why is it gotta be a grocery bag?
Bro, this is the third time this has been done. Listen, I've done this 3 times now. Literally,
know the
walk
hustle.
in there.
Teach me.
Literally, you just walk in there and say, "Dude, I had
get a
power
plastic
surge."
shopping bag.
Listen, it's an accidental warranty.
Some
It does not
Ziplocs.
matter what happens
power
to it.
surge.
Oh, okay.
Literally, just walk
But
in
wait,
and say,
they're not-
"I had a surge," and my stuff doesn't
They're
work.
not checking. They're not checking and saying, "Hey,
No.
you know." Okay.
I
What
almost
do they check
guarantee
it
somebody's
for?
gonna snitch on you, dude.
Exactly. I'm waiting for it.
Someone's gonna be like,
the lady
"No,
that
this
works
guy,
there-
he did something."
Listen. The lady.
They got
listen,
a
the
lady
lady
picture of
that
him in
works
the,
at
in the
Micro
break
Center-
room.
The break.
Just to
Don't
let
let this
you know
man
how-
in the store.
Just to let you know how this works, the lady in Micro Center, when you ring out and they ask you, "Do you want the warranty?" They literally, that's what they pitch it on. They say, "You do know you can bring this back if anything goes wrong with it for a year. I mean, for like 2 or 3 years, right?" I was like, "Really?"
So
She
Forte,
said,
why
"Yes,
haven't
no
you
questions
upgraded?
asked."
Why didn't you upgrade from a 1080 Ti then to like 20?
Because because my GPU still had another year left on it. Why waste a year of my warranty on my GPU?
But wouldn't you get a new warranty anyway with the new GPU?
Like I said, why would I go? I don't see. I'm
He would
not
have
like
to
the,
cash
I'm
out
not.
for it.
Yeah, you got to pay the difference for. You got to rebuy your warranty again. But why would this?
You
The
have to be
thing.
by the warranty anyway, though.
I'm not that person that has to have the newest thing every time it comes out. So I skip generations. I didn't go with X99 because I have a listen. I have an 8700K now. My
Just tell these
8700K is
clowns
better
you
than
a
what I.
grown man doing grown man things. and
Right,
the
they
shit
don't
you
understand. I'm
always
gonna
understand.
explain it.
Hey, Forte, I'm not.
No, that's what I'm going to.
Yo, confirm SK in the chat that Micro Center CEO is listening to this right now.
Yeah, you need to listen to it.
We're about to change that policy tomorrow.
But seriously, when you have a PC, there's no reason for you to upgrade every generation. Every time they come up with a new card,
I would
you
never
don't
do
need-
that though. Like
so
that's
the
unnecessary.
reason, Enrique, to answer your question, that's the reason I didn't upgrade my GPU, because why waste the year I have on my GPU the warranty I have left. By the time my warranty's up, the new series will be out, and I can just jump a generation. That's just the way I look at it.
I'm not knocking that Forte. I am not knocking that hustle, man. That is awesome. And
look,
actually,
man, I spent $1,800 to upgrade my PC.
Does the hustle work the same with the GameStop extended warranty?
No, man, GameStop don't have warranties that go that long, man.
I tell you what, I can see Forte with that.
It might work for Best Buy.
Yeah, it probably does work for Best Buy.
It
does work for Best Buy. It does.
Yeah,
I got a free TV out of that whole warranty thing when I had.
Man, it's all
man.
Yeah.
I bought my GPU there, man. I should have.
I got my computer from there. I might do that, but I might bring my computer and be like, you know what? It's not working. Got to send it back. Something happened.
That's when they say, you want the extended warranty? You go, why, yes, Laquan, I do want the extended warranty.
Yo, why you gotta be Laquan,
man? Why she gotta be Laquan?
You gotta throw Laquan under the bus, man.
Yeah.
I live in South Florida.
Yeah, but any of y'all have a Micro Center near y'all?
Yeah, I do. Micro Center here.
I do.
Oh, dude, you should be there. My brother gets mad because he moved to Tennessee. He's like, bro, I'm shipping you all my stuff that I have a warranty on at Micro Center.
Yeah, we don't have a Micro Center out here at all.
I have one near my job. I just it's a little far.
We have a couple here.
That's you stronger than me because that's one of the reasons I got out of PC gaming because I'm so competitive. And I would get my rig set up, and I just could not stand the idea that some clown down the street is getting like 5 more frames than me.
I get you.
Oh man!
Always going.
I had to beat that.
And I couldn't stop. It's just in me to be that competitive.
Look,
and
man,
that's the thing with technology. It's like technology just changes all the time. So, like it makes sense that the next day somebody's gonna be like, I have a better GPU.
I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't an easy thing to do, Optimus. Every time because trust me, I get the feelings where I'd be like, I can go upgrade my GPU right now to a 2080 and pay like $100. Like I think I would pay like $230 to upgrade to a 2080 Ti hybrid. But every time I feel like doing it, I always go look at a Linus Tech Tips video or I'll go look at a J2Sit video, and they'll be like, well, if you waited this long, you might as well wait for the next generation. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I needed to hear.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're stronger than me because I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't just give money back, man. If you're gonna spend that money on that warranty, I can't give it back.
Shit, warranty, I'll be paying full price.
I'll
be
on eBay. Damn, the Reggie down the street got more flops than me. I tell you what, I can see. Hold on, Forte. I was gonna say I can see you, Forte, man. When that bumper-to-bumper warranty is about to expire in your car, roll up to the dealership. Here are the keys, sir.
I don't take it back. And that's another thing. I don't wait till my warranty's about to expire. I probably do it like a month and a half beforehand. Like I don't want to make it super obvious, but I will tell you this though.
Companies finesse you, you finesse them.
You finesse them, but I will tell you this. My brother is probably the most competitive person to me because he builds PCs. Like he helped me build my first 3 PCs. So the fact that he doesn't live here anymore kind of is a lot, because I used to hate going to his house and seeing his PC setup. He has the same monitor I has, but he has 3 of them. He has a dual PC setup. He has one PC with 2 GPUs and 2 CPUs in it. It's like his PC it's custom lubed and everything. So every time I go in his house, I'm like, I hate you.
Your brother's exactly the dude Optimus talking about.
Yeah, he's that dude.
Exactly.
But guess what? I don't have to deal with that because I don't have to see him but like once a year when I drive to Tennessee, and then I just am jealous when I go there, and I'm good after that.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody in the chat, Racer X Gundam said, how did Enrique get a warranty on the 1999 Dell with the latest version?
Whatever.
Damn, bro, 1999
Enrique got the last living compact.
I tell you what, I'm about to send some soccer accounts Racer's way. Some Russian bots. But real quick, I want to get back to the topic here, guys.
But before we do that, can we all just do a silent prayer that NVIDIA has their next generation GPU at $2,000 so that Forte has to spend a little bit more money than he thinks he's going to have to spend.
Nah,
on
bro,
his
I
next
won't
GPU.
go. I won't have a 2080 Ti if 3080 Ti if that's the case. I'll just have a 3080. I'm not stupid. I'm not about to give them money.
Yeah. All right.
They would come out with the TI
Speaking
right
of
away
giving
anyway.
money, people seem to think that the Xbox Series X is going to be $600. Like, I hate.
It should be $600, but Microsoft gonna eat that cost.
But I don't think anybody wants to eat that cost. Like, I don't think anybody wants that. But I keep on seeing people being like, "Oh, it's gonna be $600. I'm gonna buy it." I'm all like, "Do you want it to be that?" Because you seem like you want it to be like that.
Well, are we in consensus that the system should be $600?
Well, before we get to that conversation, let me go, because I think let me go through all the features that were announced, and then we can talk about the price. Let's do that real quick.
There was no features announced.
Okay, Forte.
Xbox only has features. What are you talking about?
Oh, don't do that, Dark. See, we're gonna get those Russian bots.
All I saw was a blog on Xbox Wire with a bunch of text on it. That's all right.
So we get SSD storage, which we knew. Next generation SSD. Nearly every aspect of playing games is improved. Quick resume. Basically lets you continue multiple games from a suspended state almost instantaneously. Direct latency input. What else? HDMI 2.1. And with 120 frames per second support. And then next generation compatibility, 4 generations of gaming. So you'll be able to play games on the Xbox One, including backwards compatible 360 and OG Xbox games. Smart delivery, which I thought this was cool, which basically allows you to buy a game once and know that whether you're playing it on the Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you are getting the right version of that game on whatever Xbox you were playing on. CD Projekt Red doubled down on that announcement as well, saying that, in fact, you won't have to buy multiple copies of Cyberpunk 2077. I do think, though, just on a side note, that is something that Sony should do with the PlayStation 5. And then they talked about Xbox Game Pass. So, Goldblum, you talked about price with 12 teraflops, all these, the SSD, all the other features they announced with the Series X. You're saying this thing can't be 600, it's probably going to be 500. Am I understanding you correctly?
No, I want it to be the cheapest that it possibly can be. I want it to be cheap as hell. I want it to be like 400 if they can do it. Like I just want to be able to trade in my Xbox One